When we came up with the concept, first it started with a mini NEOM tagline, right? Something like that. But then I was the one who said, like, let's focus towards longevity and wellness and make it not only a tourist destination, but a global hub. So whenever the words longevity and wellness are used, people should think of UAE.
Exactly.
Come here, this should be the place where you want to find your calm.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Find Your Calm, where we help high performers and everyday people like you learn how to find your calm across business, life, and your finances. Today, I've got a really special treat. This individual I actually reached out to on LinkedIn. Been very active on the platform lately, and I saw him talking about this amazing concept coming to the UAE. We're going to dig into it soon. But this concept is the very first smart city in the world that is dedicated and focused to longevity and wellness. So I was absolutely floored and blown away at what they're building and creating. And I knew we had to get him on the podcast to talk about it. So please welcome Dr. Raees Tonse. He had a very distinguished career in actually radiation oncology, as well as proton beam therapy and neuro-oncology. Beyond that, he is now the strategic advisor to the Royal Family Office here in the UAE, a very prominent family here. He's also the global ambassador for the Global Wellness Institute in the United States, also the brand ambassador for MedTech World, and now the project lead for this great project we're here to talk about today, Longevi-City.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here and for the kind introduction. I just feel so humbled by it now, but there's, so much to do, but thank you so much.
Absolutely. Let's dive right into it because you have an oncology background. You had a great career from everything I read and I researched on you, some amazing breakthroughs. And now you are the project lead for this mega project that we're building out in the middle of the desert. Talk to me about that transition.
Definitely. So I'll just give you a brief story of my life journey on how I ended up in longevity and wellness. So I was born and brought up in Dubai. Dubai has always been home, and the city has been like, my life kind of thing, because all the memories are here, the school, the friends, and the family, it's right here. So later on in life, I went ahead to do my medicine, and I did my specialty in radiation oncology. And I was lucky to have amazing mentors. I was trained under Professor Rakesh Jalali, who's a prominent international figure in neuro-oncology. And that was kind of my first stepstone to, I would say, success, or I don't know how you define it, but he's been an amazing mentor. And I trained with him. I did my super specialty neuro-oncology fellowship under him. And fortunately, at the same time, the Apollo Proton Group in India was starting the Proton Center, which was the first of its kind in Southeast Asia. And we were fortunate to be invited by the group and lead the entire program, both myself, my professor, and myself. So that kind of gave me the exposure to the other side of the world. So previous to that, I was more like a clinical physician, day-to-day, seeing patients, tackling problems. Obviously, I was heavily involved with clinical trials, research, and development at that time as well. But coming to Apollo, I got to see the other side as well, because we saw the entire institution develop from scratch. It was a building process and a lot of learning experiences about the business models, the marketing strategies, and how to incorporate that. And especially a massive project like a proton beam therapy is not easy, a lot of challenges. And fortunately, we had to partner with a lot of international key figures who were, very helpful in helping us basically set up the guidelines and the SOPs. And one key figure I would love to take, his name is Professor Minesh Mehta, who's again my mentor and my previous boss in Miami Cancer Institute. So Professor Minesh is an international figure in neuro-oncology. He's like the godfather, right?
Yeah.
He's like, you say Professor Minesh and that's it. Like
people know.
Everyone knows Professor Minesh, and he is a global leader in the proton beam therapy world. So it so happened that I was on a vacation in the US. And since I was in the US, I thought, okay, like for 2 days, let me go down to Miami and meet Professor and just say hi to him,
Yeah.
right? And on the spot, he offered me a job. He was like, why don't you
Wow.
come to Miami and,
Yeah.
help them? Because at that time, he initially started the institution. It is a new institution, but a massive institution, one of the biggest radiation oncology facilities in the world. So I always dreamt of being part of his team, and this was like a dream come true. It so happened that we shifted to US. Things got exciting. We were forming a lot of clinical trials and a lot of very innovative treatment protocols, which are slowly going to be disseminated down the line.
Right.
And I was always surrounded by key opinion leaders in the field, from Boston, MD Anderson,
Yeah.
John Hopkins, then the top of the top, right?
Right.
So at that time, I thought I've touched the world, I've conquered the world.
Yeah. You
But
reached the pinnacle.
Exactly. But as time passed by, I realized there's still so much to do,
Right.
because what we are doing and whatever concepts we are developing, for them to even come to normal healthcare dissemination, that knowledge, it takes 4 years, 5 years, 10 years
Yes.
at times.
Right.
And I felt deep down, that's when I started feeling, oh, this is not enough. I've not conquered the world. There's still a lot to do.
Right.
And simultaneously, what happened is I was fortunate enough to be part of a lot of scientific advisory boards for AI, machine learning, predictive, preventive modeling kind of thing in cancer first, and then in other areas of radiology and other chronic diseases. So that was another stepping stone towards longevity and wellness. But
Yes.
that was first towards the medtech, health tech, biotech. That's when I started getting more excited and interested, because there is a big wave in going towards AI, machine
Correct.
learning, and amazing technologies to kind of disrupt the entire system. And I felt this is the much needed progress right now.
Absolutely.
And slowly but steadily, so initially the concept of preventive medicine came up to me, right?
Right.
And especially being an oncologist, no one else can challenge me on this, because oncologists have seen the worst of the worst.
Yes.
And every day, okay, when we win against cancer, it's a different high.
Yes.
But when we lose, it's the exact same feeling. You don't like to lose a patient.
Right.
So it so happened, there were many incidents that kind of pushed me to do more. I don't think we have the time frame to discuss all that right now. But in short, some incidents happened, especially with the child, which kind of pushed me that we need to do better.
Do more.
And do more,
Right.
right? And that, I would say, was one of the stepping stones for me to take this project on as to how. So first, it was a concept of a preventive medicine, predictive medicine in terms of a clinic-based system, which I initially came up with.
Right.
And slowly and I've been building on this concept for almost 2 years now. And I've been observing most of the leaders all over the world, how they're going about it.
Yep.
And there was, again, at the same time, especially because post-COVID, there was this big trend about health and
Yes.
wellness and taking care of this. And before that, people used to take
You just go, hustle.
Yeah. Nobody used to actually take care of the health as a primary objective. But
Absolutely.
I would say one of the good things post-COVID is this, that now people are much more aware about their health.
Correct.
They try to take care of their diet, exercise. At least there is a bigger momentum right now.
Absolutely.
So in the US, there was this big wave of longevity, wellness coming in. And at the same time, I was building this concept of preventive medicine and predictive models for how to detect chronic diseases, to kind of pick them early so that
Right.
you don't have to even go to the treatment phase, and that kind of brings the entire healthcare cost down.
Yes.
Right? And I thought, this is amazing. This is something which I could do at a larger scale. I finally felt my new challenge,
Yeah.
which I was looking for,
Yeah.
is here. And slowly but steadily, first I started with a clinic system, you know. We were thinking of having oncology clinics, obesity clinics, diabetes clinics, endocrinology clinics, you know, to kind of predict these early markers and biomarkers to catch and detect these diseases early. And so it happens, I became even bolder. I thought, why instead of a clinic system, why not have an entire healthcare system, which will take it to a global scale, right? So that's how I thought, let's go bigger.
Yeah, you're talking about completely reformatting
exactly
an institute that, I mean, it's not even teaching it at the collegiate level.
Exactly. So the entire thought process, and because that's what I thought, if we have to change things, we need to go from the roots.
Correct.
And then the project of having an entire healthcare institution in terms of education, institutions, R&D, that kind of concept came into play.
Yeah.
And I was building on that as to how to go about it, who are the key opinion leaders who we can partner with. And this model, initially, I just revealed to you, but we were thinking of doing it in the States, in Miami itself.
Correct.
And there is already a very strong project going on, which I don't know if you know, but they'll be running in 2027. And it's going to be amazing. It's, I think, going to be one of the biggest wellness center in terms of longevity and wellness in the world.
Wow.
And it's amazing. So I don't want to reveal too much because they should be the ones. But yeah, I mean, I already told where it is. So I think most of the people know. Then what happened is I took it to the next level. I started thinking as a community.
Right.
Because healthcare itself, as you know, is not enough to get the outcomes which you want.
Right.
So when I started thinking of a community-based longevity city, community initially, then I realized, okay, you need to get so many things in place, right? On a community level. And I thought, if I'm doing a community, why not do a whole city?
Yeah.
So that's how you get bolder, right? Like, so I started with a clinic, I started with a healthcare system, and started with a small community base, which has everything around it.
Right.
But then if you thought about this community, I'm like, let's go even bigger. And come up with the city model as to how to go about it and everything. So in short, that's how I kind of got involved, from an oncologist to a predictive, preventive kind of AI tech guy. That's how I became the global ambassador for MedTech world, because of my work.
Okay, the predictive modeling. Okay.
Yeah, all that kind of work, and being in many scientific advisory boards and co-founders for a lot of companies. But then the next step, which was longevity and wellness, which is my passion at the moment, because this is amazing. And the beauty about it is, if you ask anyone, I mean, longevity obviously has its own definition, but my definition would be just to lead a longer, healthier, happy life, fulfilling life.
Right.
Yeah? That's the simple definition, but everyone has its own definition, even wellness per se.
I agree. Yeah.
So
a lot of people define it
wellness
differently.
itself has multiple areas, and each person will define wellness in its own way. For example, for someone, mental health wellness is a much bigger thing.
Correct.
For someone, physical health
absolutely
is a much bigger part of for someone else, emotional health.
Yeah.
For some people, financial health. For some people, spiritual health.
Exactly.
So the idea of the city per se is to inculcate all these aspects. And so if you know, and it's a little inspired from the Blue Zones documentary of Dan Buettner as well, which emphasizes a lot on the lifestyle changes on all these selected countries which he explored and put together. What were the changes? And as he rightly says, 80% of your outcome is environmental.
Correct.
Only 20 is health, technology, and everything else.
Yeah.
And when I saw from an eagle eyes view, all the leaders are doing exceptionally well, but no one is doing it cumulative, right? That's what I was
Exactly.
thinking. Why nobody is taking it all together?
All the way.
Like someone is doing some phenomenal work in drug discovery or
Right.
therapeutics or longevity medicine or
Absolutely.
wellness advocates and everything. But
Yeah.
focus as a whole,
Right.
no one was taking up this project. And since I was already building on the concepts and the city perspective of
Right.
urban living, with the foundation being longevity and wellness
Yes.
as the main principle, architectural principle, and the foundation principle in every aspect to it.
Absolutely.
And I thought, why not add even sustainability to it? Because anyway, if you're making a futuristic city, we are going in that direction. Why not make it sustainable
As well.
So we have one more
pillar.
one more pillar in the pocket.
What you're talking about is impacting people at an epigenetic level that has a ripple effect generationally, because typically, like you said, when it comes to wellness, people are very siloed. They see it in these various aspects, but even our principles, the way that we embody it at Find Your Calm, is that your physical, your mental, your spiritual, your financial health, those all are markers of your true wellness. One of those are missing, you can't be whole. Right. And so what you're talking about doing is making that when you come home to this community, everything you need is here. So we are removing the factors that typically, especially environmentally, would impact you. That's unheard of.
I mean, when I started my research as a city of longevity or something like that, I thought there'll be tons of cities coming up, especially with the whole world going towards smart cities, smart technology.
Right.
And fortunately or unfortunately, I felt nothing is there.
Yeah.
And it kind of shook me up, because I was like, why not? It's such a simple concept. I mean, it's to be honest, what I'm doing is not exceptional. Anyone can do it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, obviously, there are a lot of ways how to get it
Parameters, right.
done. But in short, it's not as difficult. Like, for example, now the mega project city, NEOM, is fantastic and it's so
Exactly.
ambitious.
Yes.
So when we came up with the concept, first it started with a mini NEOM tagline, right? Something like that. But then I was the one who said, like, let's focus towards longevity and wellness and make it a tourist destination, not only a tourist destination, but a global hub. So whenever the words longevity and wellness are used, people should think of UAE.
Exactly.
Come here. This should be the place where you want to find your calm.
I love that. So now we have to officially work together. It's official. It has to happen. So tell me a little bit more about some of the nuances that will be involved in the city, because when you think city, I mean, there's so many factors, right? There's the smart aspect where people think just, okay, the stoplights work when, somebody crosses the line. How integrated are we talking here?
Excellent question. So I can reveal the ones which are already out in the public.
Sure.
So the other ones which are exciting, I want to still keep it in the
absolute close to the vest.
this thing. But so under the mega project initiative, Longevi-City, we already have 5 to 6 mega projects itself, which are very deeply involved with the function and the foundation of longevity and wellness. So the first one I would like to share is within the city, there is going to be a pharma city. So this will cater to at least 20 to 30 pharmaceutical companies having production in-house. There are 3-4 fundamentals for this. One is to bring the healthcare medication costs down. We are trying. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
But the aim is to bring that down, because if you have your own production, definitely, the cost comes down. The second, another important goal will be to 60% of whatever is produced will be exported to African countries to help their infrastructure as well.
Wonderful.
So there are 3-4 goals, and definitely there will be a lot of wellness and longevity medication, that kind of thing, which helps in the general health. So Pharma City is very close to my heart, because as a doctor, I know the healthcare costs, how
Yes.
abundant it is for a common man, and especially at times for people who don't have insurance.
Correct.
If the ones who have insurance, I mean, they don't feel it, but the ones who don't have insurance, I think now Dubai, everyone has health insurance, so that's a good thing. But even then, the aim is to try to bring the medication costs down, having your own production line.
Yeah.
And again, the social cause is re-exporting to African countries to help them in their infrastructure in whatever ways we can help. So that is one. The second one is something called, there is going to be a film city. So film city, the aim and the objective is to be the biggest film city in the world, right? We have already the group has already partnered with a lot of international level studios and production houses which are aiming towards this direction. So the film city, as you know, is the normal movies and everything. But the reason why I'm specifying this is a small function or a small part of this will be to produce content, to produce a lot of media and awareness about health, longevity, wellness. And longevity per se, again, as I said, it's so vague.
Yeah.
Basic health system, how to sleep, how to eat your
agree.
food,
Yes.
the stress, mental health, that kind of thing, by tying up with various key opinion leaders.
Yeah.
So the idea is to have that kind of network to create a mass awareness, not only regionally, but globally.
Absolutely.
So that, in fact, is one of the nice foundation stones we will have in our arsenal to kind of help reach our objective. Now, the third one, now it gets a little more exciting, is there will be an entire sports academy or a sports city. The reason why this is being done is we have gyms and swimming pools and a lot of facilities in almost every building, right?
Right.
But at times the ratio of people using that is down
Slim.
because of time and whatever reasons you have. So idea of building this is definitely it will have cater to all the sporting avenues like golf, football, cricket, basketball, badminton, tennis, swimming, everything, right? And not only that, partner with international celebrities to kind of be a part of this initiative, be a global ambassador to kind of help people. So what happens is it kind of engages the community to participate more in initiatives, something like cycling, which is, I mean, on a regular basis is being done in Dubai.
Right.
And it's just that when you have key opinion leaders or key celebrities in the field, you kind of engage the public to come out more often to at least, see them, be part of them. Absolutely. Or if they're part of the sports academy or they have some kind of training sessions. There are sports enthusiasts still in today's world that would love to come out and, meet these people and be a part of that. So that is the aim, to basically engage the community on a more global level and local level, regional level, local level. So that is the third part. Now, the fourth part is there is a mega project which is called as the Natural Safari Zoo, which will be under the portfolio. And we've already partnered with a South African company who's joined with us and leading this initiative. Now, this is amazing because this kind of gives you the entire wildlife experience and the safari experience, which we usually go to Africa to witness, So we thought, why not bring them here?
Yeah, because we are integrated with nature.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the concept is amazing, and few things I can reveal. There's a lot to do with nature.
Yes.
You reconnect with nature, number one. Number two, you have this amazing spas, retreat centers, wellness resorts within
this city. Wow.
So, and basically it's to remind people that let's interact with, one is each other, one is with the surroundings, with nature, with animals, because to be honest, even I've forgotten that,
Me too.
I don't have the time, especially if you're living in a hustly bustly city, you are more stuck in traffic and
Exactly.
things like that.
Exactly.
But this is something to kind of connect and reconnect back to nature. Again, finding your calm.
Yeah.
I'm using your tagline regularly,
I love
right?
it. I love it.
So that entire experience itself will elevate anyone's mental state, physical state, just to kind of slow down, take things in a slow pace.
Yeah.
At times, I mean, in
Yeah.
a fast-paced world, you can't be slow every time.
Correct.
But you need to balance it.
it.
Exactly.
Absolutely. This is I gotta say is quite the undertaking because
I'm not done yet.
there's more. There's more. Okay.
So that's the fourth one.
Okay.
Now the fifth one is when we were doing the safari experience, we thought, why not include the marine life? Why leave them out from the equation? So there is going to be a mega marine theme park,
Wow.
come wellness center kind of thing, revolving around the concept of water, aquatic life, and
That's beautiful.
so. Because to me, I like going to the beaches.
Me too. I'm a
And
beach
I
girl.
find that very relaxing, soothing. So we thought, use that in a way. I mean, the project was already there, but we are now changing the angle more towards longevity, wellness, spa, yoga, that kind of theme.
Yeah.
To kind of give it a more meaningful venture.
Yes.
In the end.
Yes.
So this again is amazing because now we've covered the nature part of it, now the water part of it, right?
Right.
So the next step was the spiritual angle, which is again very important. I mean, in today's world, everyone needs to meditate for some time or the other, right?
Find their center, find themselves.
Exactly.
Yes.
So this is still on the initial phase. We are reaching out to one of the top 10 spiritual gurus. I can't reveal. I mean, everyone knows by now when I told the top 10. But the dream, obviously, is to get everyone together in some way or the other and have a spiritual city, if possible, and have the biggest. I mean, Dubai and UAE likes everything, the biggest and the best. So I'm going with that same motto because the city's vibe is like that, so we should go with that.
Exactly.
So the aim is to have the biggest and the best meditation center or the Ayurvedic center and the holistic part of things to kind of integrate that into the lifestyle of urban living.
Right.
Right. So this is again exciting. I mean, when we finalize whoever joined, but the invitation is open to everyone.
Right.
Right. So once that happens, that is another part of it, which is simultaneously going on. And the next part, which is again very deep to my heart, I don't know why I didn't start with this, is I want to build, or not we want to build an organic city.
Oh, I love it.
The reason being, if you go out to a supermarket or a restaurant, a salad costs $10.
Yes.
In the US as well.
Oh,
right?
yeah, completely. Yeah.
And a cheeseburger will cost $1 or $2. And it got me thinking, why is healthy food more expensive?
Always been
it
my
should
question.
be the other way around.
Right. Comes from the earth.
It should, so that's how this concept built in. And the idea behind this is going to have multiple organic farms, multiple vertical farms.
Yes.
With the newest technology using AI.
Hydroponics, the
everything,
whole nine,
all that together. We have not finalized. Again, this invitation is open to all.
Right.
And the idea of making a city is the more we have production, hopefully the cost comes down and hopefully that gets disbursed to the entire region. So the idea is that somewhat similar to the pharma city, the organic city. And the main motto, if I have to evaluate my success, would be if the cost of organic food or healthcare food or all the healthy foods come down, I feel that is a successful venture. Because even yesterday when I went to the supermarket, there's a separate aisle for organic. Yeah. So I thought, let's make the entire thing organic or make it something which is something economical. Because though it's there, most of the people are not able to afford it.
Correct.
Because they find, the general thing is 10 times lower than the cost.
Yep.
So the idea is that it's a massive undertaking again, but something which is very close to my heart.
Yeah.
So now, as you know, we tried to cover through the entire project. We have the physical aspect, the sports city, and a lot of initiative, cycling. And
Yeah.
so that's the idea behind it. The spiritual aspect with the meditation and everything ongoing there,
Yeah.
that would be one. The healthy eating habits, that will be the organic city.
Right.
I mean, we have the zoo and the
Aquatic.
marine life aquatic experience and the pharma city, which will try to. So the idea behind the city was to go to the foundation first,
Yes.
right? And building around this, definitely there'll be a lot of developers whom we are inviting because we have not reached out yet because we are still busy making these things because we know once this is ready
Yeah.
or more or less ready, people or developers who have the kind of interest towards sustainability or longevity wellness will come to kind of have that kind of defining environment or the community built around it with a lot of community spaces, elder house spaces,
Absolutely.
a lot of recreational facilities, green spaces, and a lot of walking to kind of engage.
Right.
And using from these pillars, like within these communities, you can have an organic farm to kind of engage people to get into the ones who are retired. They can come in, do organic farming. It will be like an activity.
Yeah.
The sporting academy basically used that initiative within the community to kind of enhance the level of interaction and engagement within the community. Same way with the marine life and aquatic thing, we can have some kind of subsidized rates where people can go over the weekend to kind of enjoy that experience as well. So the broader goal is that. And simultaneously, yes, I should not forget my own medicine, right? Because the aim is to build the best and the biggest preventive and longevity hospital or a healthcare system within the community.
Right.
A lot of people have already reached out to kind of partner and go about it, but we have to finalize as to how to get that done.
Yeah.
But that will be within the community setting and the hospital setting. And not only that, simultaneously, we want this place to have like a longevity hub of technology and innovation center.
Yes.
Because, as you know, technology needs to be constantly upgraded
Evolving,
and
right.
evolved on a regular basis. And that's one reason at the moment I'm not pushing so much towards technology because I know this can be easily done.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, it's constantly upgrading and changing.
For sure.
So I thought, let me focus my entire energy first to the environmental part and the aspect which is 80% of the real result. And then cater to the entire 20% of genetics, use technology, R&D, various innovative, high-tech treatment facilities that can inculcate longevity and wellness in all aspects.
Absolutely.
Let it be stem cells and many other things which I don't want to reveal now. But so the thing is, the UAE itself has already done so much. In the sense, Abu Dhabi has the stem cell center.
Yes, yeah.
One of the proposal did come to me to actually build a stem cell center. I was like, it's easier for me to collaborate with them rather than have another center
Another
built.
thing to do, right.
And maybe, they can collaborate with them to kind of live them. So now, eventually, once things are up and running, our idea will be to collaborate with the local leaders in the fields which we are not doing, but is connected to wellness so that there's an integration. Because the greater goal is to kind of make UAE the global hub, right? Not just Ras-Al-Khaimah.
Correct.
You're not restricted just to Ras-Al-Khaimah. And the even bigger goal is to make UAE the global hub for whenever longevity and wellness comes, it should be UAE, right?
Absolutely.
That's how it should be. So there's a big part of it is wellness tourism, which again is
Massive.
a different
Yes, it's a different animal. But
animal.
you're creating an entire industry that is going to change primary education all the way through the collegiate levels. You're talking about not just a sustainable city, but a fully economically sustainable city, because the jobs that it will create, the innovation that it will create, the education and the findings that will come from this city will impact ripple effects across the globe.
I mean, that is the vision at the moment. So the vision right now for the Longevi-City is hopefully many other countries replicate a part of it, because at times it may not be able to do the whole thing.
Right.
But to be the global leader in this field, and so that for me, the essence of happiness or legacy, if I have to say, would be if there are multiple Longevi cities all over the world in every city.
Yeah.
I would say yes. We have done some part of what we could have done better. I mean, there's even more to do. But in the next 2-3 years, I mean, the whole concept is going to change, as we know the way the world is going. But then the roots and the basics never change, right? And what are the hindrance towards wellness and longevity, or in today's world?
Yeah.
Why is it so difficult? It's not difficult, actually. It's just because the barriers, I would say, would be the first fundamental barrier is lack of time.
Big time.
Everyone, including me.
Every high performer that I work with, that's the number one thing.
And not generally high performer. Every individual being, if you ask why you're not doing, or if he or she is not motivated, lack of time. There's not enough time, lot of effort. So that is the first barrier. Second barrier, in my opinion, because of lack of time comes unhealthy eating habits.
Correct.
Fast foods or sugary drinks, which I'm not going against them like a movement, but these are the things that cause...
Shouldn't be in your consistent diet.
Exactly.
Right.
At least, have a balance. I mean, even once in a while, I do enjoy a Pepsi or a burger. But more or less, we try towards healthy eating.
Correct.
Right? The next point I would say, which is now a big factor, is mental health. But to discuss mental health, again, this is a whole topic. I can speak on this for hours and hours together. But in short, the reason there is so much anxiety, depression, and self-doubt, one reason I would say is technology. The reason being, people are now so focused on the phones, on the tablets, they don't really go out much as our fathers or grandfathers used to do, right?
Yes, sensory overload.
Yeah.
I just wrote an article about this.
It is. I mean, as a doctor, I know how this is. And we're seeing this trend because I'm seeing my own daughter. She's more towards the gadget, but we now force her to go to play
outside,
areas, go to the garden.
Yep.
But most of the children, and not only children, everyone today is so focused on technology and social media. I mean, social media is good.
It has its place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you don't balance it, these are the problems we are facing.
Correct.
Now, the minute you tell this, again, there'll be a massive, because the young generation don't like something against social media. And I'm sure even now when they're listening to this, they'll be like, oh, this guy is
I have
talking.
a teenager, I know.
Yeah. But the root cause, I always go to the root cause,
Yes,
right? Then you can
to.
solve the problem.
Correct.
If you just solve on a superficial level.
Not the symptom, we want the root cause.
Exactly. Now, if there is mental health, I mean, definitely with the newest technology and the way people are going, they're developing an app for mental health.
Yeah, right. So it's like more technology.
So, I mean, I'm not against it. As I rightly told in the beginning, I'm a pure tech guy in the sense I sit on boards and scientific advisory. In fact, I've even gone to metaverse, and even I'm part of a company called Auralink, which is the metaverse of smell. So we've gone 10, 15 years down the line already.
Yeah.
So trust me, I'm already there. I'm a tech guy as well. But the reason why I'm telling this is, if you have mental health, sometimes just talking to a friend, or be engaged with your family, or just going out to the things like I said, like nature, interact with society.
Correct.
Right? Because as a human being, we are a social animal.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
That's foundation and basic principle. So mental health, again, as I said, I can keep talking for ages and ages, but that is in the fast-paced life of age, technology, and I mean the competition, the stress levels are high.
Very.
So unless someone does not take care of their self, it will lead to ripple effects in a negative way.
Absolutely.
So I encourage people to. So what I do, though I'm also into the fast-paced life, is at least in the morning 1 hour try not to see the phone when you wake up, because it's generally the tendency, what messages I have, what emails I have, what are what all I have to do. Keep the phone away for at least an hour or so.
Yes.
Go do your usual thing, brush your teeth, talk to your family, exercise, pray, spiritual, whatever makes you happy. Slow down first. Find your calm, and then probably, go to the hustling, bustling of your usual life. And the same thing in the evening and nighttime as well. That would be a start, because before sleeping, again, people are more engaged, not interacting much. So this is, again, I said, it's very simple, but if I talk this, people at times don't like it, because they're like, there's no flashy technology or this thing to it.
And that's why the education, like you said, having this film city is critical, because people lack the knowledge just for these nuanced types of things. So everything you're saying is spot on.
Exactly. And so mental health is a barrier. The next aspect would be the cost, because at times some gyms or this thing, I mean, generally people can afford, but at times there is a group of people who don't have the luxury to go to these kind of facilities. But that is still not the reason, right?
No.
That is what I'm saying. Because I as a doctor,
you've seen
people give various excuses, right? To I don't have the time. I'm like, okay, you don't necessarily, if you don't have the means to go to a gym, go to a beach, go to a park.
Go walk.
I mean, it's so simple. Just get a, Google Fitbit or whatever you call it, the new technologies.
Yeah.
Use that and go for a walk. Do your 10,000 steps, 15, 20,000 steps. So if you want to give reasons, there are multiple reasons you can be given. But in the end, it depends on the individual and how you want to overcome it, because unless it's all about the mindset, I would say, right? If you really want to do something, you can do it. Only thing, you have to alter a little bit, and you can definitely have outcomes in the future.
Absolutely. Okay. So, this is exciting.
I told you, once I start talking, it's difficult to shut me up.
The fact that Find Your Calm was built on the premise of, number one, this was kind of the love letter to myself, because much of what you're talking about, I experienced going through chronic stress and having to figure this out on my own. I didn't have Longevi-City. I didn't have a lot of resources. I had to piecemeal these things together to make it work. So creating an environment where you can come in and say, I want to be the best version of myself, and I want to make sure that my children can become the best version of themselves, is absolutely phenomenal, because right now many people are doing it by themselves. They don't have access to the resources, or the excuses overwhelm their ability to take action. So this is going to, I think, truly change the course of human history.
I mean,
I know that's a bold statement, but when you really think about it,
I love
really
it. If we could change the human course of history. But as I said, this for me is my bigger aim in life, kind of thing, right? It's like, as a doctor and seeing so many patients go through so much stress, especially cancer patients, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Cancer is one part of treatment, but the stress level they go through and the families go through,
right, that impacts their ability to heal.
Exactly. We've seen that. And so the reason all this is very close to me is because at that time, at the early stage of my career, I was counseling a lot already. So that's why mental health is very, very close to me, because more than the treatment, I mean, treatment is easy for me. Okay, you need radiation, you need surgery, you need chemo, done, khatam, go home, I'm done.
Right.
But we used to spend hours together explaining not only the treatment, but how to live around it, right? Because that, unfortunately, still lacks in our healthcare system. We don't have the support system to kind of help patients to kind of go through the journey, what they go through.
Right.
And this, I'm talking of only oncology. Similar, it goes to all
of
aspects of healthcare. So the aim, is if we reach there, definitely that would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But the greater good, the greater aim is to make sure each and every one, because at the moment, longevity and wellness is more or less restricted to the elite or to the high net individuals who can afford going to a luxury spa. I'm not saying I'm not creating that. I am catering to them as well.
There's levels.
I mean, definitely there are various categories. That's why those things which I have not revealed, those are some exciting, unique concepts.
Right.
But the general goal is to try to ensure that we make an impact and try and hope that we touch each and every individual's life in some way or the other to kind of change the mindset, basically. Because my opinion is only technology and the race towards innovation, which is really required, is not going to solve the problem if you really need a result on a sustainable form.
Right.
And use that technology and all the new age gizmos to kind of inculcate with the lifestyle and the environment setting. That itself, hopefully, will be able to create something there.
I love this. I cannot thank you enough for coming here. I think we got to have you come back again, because as this develops, we want to see this in real time. We want to.
Oh, definitely, because the official what so far is going on is just a soft press release, just to get people aware slightly. The official press and announcements will be coming post Eid, because this is a time, now people are more reflecting. We didn't want to create too much buzz now. We thought let's do it post Eid. And definitely there'll be a lot of ways we are looking for collaboration, number one. Even people who would love to invest, because every investor, being in the medtech, all these words, I've already seen every investor has their own style of, some like healthcare, some like pharma, some like film. That's why one broad picture is we have everything.
Yeah.
You want to invest?
Put it here,
we are here. You can, come and invest. So definitely we are looking for investors who are like-minded, who share the vision of the greater good.
Absolutely.
Even collaborators for example, organic farming or pharmacity. If people would love to collaborate, we are welcoming. And not only restricted to this, there are many more things which we can collaborate, which comes with the broader vision of longevity and wellness.
Correct.
We are accepting and we are looking for collaboration. Educational R&D collaboration, we are looking for that as well at the moment. And hopefully we will be having a big event soon, once things are a little more standardized and settled, to kind of invite key opinion leaders in the field in all forms, financial, fintech, longevity, aging, simple wellness being, So that plans are also there, but that will be a later down the line once we are more set up. To be honest, we don't even have the website running yet. We have just the domain, but now since things are a little slow, I mean, hopefully things we'll have an official website. And we do have a LinkedIn page where if people can, who are interested, can follow, because regular updates will be more on the LinkedIn as well platform. But I mean, we are happy to collaborate with like-minded people who share the passion, which I've just
outlined,
told in all forms, let it be ministerial, investors, entrepreneurs, or simple basic people who want to
just want to play their part
in some way or the other. So we welcome that, and definitely they can reach out to me on LinkedIn.
Okay, that's the best way.
Recently, I'm a little active on LinkedIn, but once the website is open, there will be an info
where they can go from there,
contact us with. But till that, they can reach me on LinkedIn or any other way.
Perfect. I always finish the podcast by asking all of my guests, how do you find your calm each day?
Wow. So lately, my calm is building the city. It's become my passion because I'm enjoying what I'm doing, right?
Right.
I don't feel like I'm working. I work 24/7. My wife hates me now. Because even in the evenings, I have meetings because most of the US meetings, as you know, the
Yes.
time zone,
Changes,
it's all in the
yeah.
midnight.
Right.
And in the morning, it's more in the Europe and all over the world. So my calm at the moment is to make the city happen and
Right.
live, right?
Right.
So that gives me immense satisfaction, and that makes me find my calm, I would say, in
That's
short.
wonderful. Everyone has their way. Thank you so much, Dr. Tonse, for being here with me today. And we will make sure to share all of your links below this video, this episode, and make sure that people can find you and connect with you on LinkedIn.
No, thank you so much for having me here. And just on a sideline, this is my first official podcast.
Oh, you did great.
So I hope I did great.
You did good. You did great.
Thank you so much for having me here. It was a pleasure to discuss with you what we're trying to do, and hopefully it reaches out to the masses, and the more people get to know about it and at least inculcate what we're trying to do, that itself will have rippling effect. So that's the greater aim.
Absolutely.
So yeah, thank you so much for having me here.
All right. Until next time.